This latest round of strikes comes after the Trump administration accused Tehran of attacking 3 tankers in the Strait of Hormuz yesterday.
WXI 12's Bethany Cates spoke with a military expert about what this means and how it could impact us here at home. She joins us live in the newsroom now tonight. Bethany, what were some of the takeaways today?
Well, retired Navy Vice Admiral John Morgan tells me the reason tensions have escalated once again is because you have a superior country fighting a asymmetric war with a country with limited resources. Now, just a few months ago, we saw the gas prices close to almost $5, and Morgan says this could be on the horizon once again.
The time is now for very skilled diplomats to be at a negotiating table, to understand both sides and what both sides aim to gain or lose.
The U.S. and Iran are attacking each other once again, with President Donald Trump declaring the already fragile ceasefire over. Retired Navy Vice Admiral John Morgan of Winston-Salem, who served in the Navy for over 30 years, says this is what he calls asymmetric warfare.
What you have here is you have the United States as a superpower, and you have a small country with very limited military resources that represents the asymmetric advantage they hold. With just a handful of drones in that tight geographic region, you can understand how it can be disrupted.
I asked Morgan about President Trump referring to Iran as, quote, scum, and he says right now is the time to de-escalate and not escalate conflict.
I would avoid that type of rhetoric. I don't think it's helpful. I think it can only encourage or incite the passions of the Iranian leadership.
According to Gas Buddy, the North Carolina average for a gallon of regular was $2.74 the day the war began. And less than 3 months later, they were up almost $1.50, peaking at $4.23. And the nearly 2 months since, they've come down more than 70 cents. But Morgan fears if the Strait of Hormuz remains blocked, we could see another spike.
I think if you have a summer vacation planned, it's probably going to be more expensive because either you're going to drive or fly. I think grocery prices are likely to either remain relatively high as they are now or continue to go higher. If you're a farmer in the region, fertilizer is going to cost more because so much of it comes out of the Persian Gulf.
Morgan tells me right now the biggest thing to know is that there are key geographic choke points that could impact the global economy as this conflict continues. In studio, I'm Bethany Cates for WXII 12 News.
Bethany, thank you. We've, of course, been following developments in the Iran war for